Hey there, this is Pam Perry. Welcome for joining us for this special edition of Speakers Magazine show. This person, all you have to do is Google them. They really don't need any introduction. We're talking about Cheryl Wood, and she's been on the cover 4 times. I couldn't find the fourth one. That one was a sold out edition. Nobody can find it. It's just like the missing one from 2019. But Cheryl Wood needs no introduction. She's a friend of mine. I love her dearly. She's going to talk about her journey and give you tips if you want to take the stage and really do the thing like she's been doing for a while. Cheryl Wood, Dr. Cheryl Wood, I'm going to bring to the stage for Speakers Magazine show. And I'm your host, Pam Perry, publisher of Speakers Magazine. With that, yay! Oh, Cheryl. This one is by far my favorite one. This one was 2022. This was fire. Oh my God.
I feel like I was a boss in that one. Like, yeah, don't try me.
Oh my God. I like this one too. This was different.
Yep.
And this was the bold hair, right? This was all cut off, right? This was all cut off. This is like you rocking the shit. And then the other one was the one that you were looking up in the cheetah print and that kind of thing. We can't find that one, but that was the one where the first year of SpeakerCon, 2019. But this one was, just to give people a little bit of background, this one here, I'll pull it up a little bit. This one here was the first issue that she was actually on. I tell everyone this, and I told Cheryl before that, 2017. Speakers Magazine had just started. We did our first issue in June. Our first issue was July, which was my mentor, George Frazier. So he said, okay, no problem, July. August, I think after that was Dr. Stacey NC Grant. I think it's because George told Dr. Stacey NC Grant she needed to be on the cover, right? Because she didn't really know me. And then from there, I think I met you and we reached out and you told me about playtime is over, time to rock the stage. And I was like, oh my God. I said, yes, this is what Speakers Magazine is about really encouraging and inspiring speakers. So you took a chance, didn't really know me, came out to the event. I think I had just got my microphone. I interviewed you and your hubby at the event. And I was like, she is a rock star. And I remember you took your shoes off on the stage. I was like, and it's one of those things where this was not your first event, but like your first biggest event.
Yeah. My first multi-day conference.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a lot because you roll that dice and it's like, okay, are we gonna do this? So give people a little bit of your background because I want people to realize that you're not just new to this, you're true to this. You've been doing it for a while. People now know that you're rolling with people like Lisa Nichols and E.T. and Gloria Mayfield Banks and Trenton Shelton, Les Brown, George Frazier, Brian Oles. We got to give Brian a shout out too, right? Brian Oles, the BSN. And so give them a little bit of background how it really started, because you didn't just show up and like start making millions on the stage, right? It's like it's cute and everything, and you're running around doing all these speaking engagements, but tell us the truth of how they really happened.
Yeah, I'm so glad you asked that, because a lot of times people, they look at the chapter that you're in right now and they think you woke up to that chapter. And it's like, no, my very first time taking the stage was September 18th, 2010. That means this September 18th will be 13 years that I've been building this thing. And it's like, nothing happens overnight. Nothing good, nothing worthwhile happens overnight. I always say, whatever you want to achieve, especially in the speaker industry, it's never going to be quick. It's never going to be easy. It's never going to be free, and it's never going to be convenient. Like, just don't even expect for it to be any of those things. Just expect that you've got to put in the work. You've got to, as they say, pay your dues. You've got to show up when it's uncomfortable, when you don't feel like it. You've got to invest more and deposit more than you withdraw initially. And at some point down the road, if you believe, like I believe, that you reap what you sow, then hopefully all of the sowing that you've done and planting of seeds, you can be in expectation that those things will blossom at some point. And you just can't focus on when. Like, if you're only laser focused on when is it going to happen, you are going to lose steam for the thing that you have been called to do. So I've just been on a journey of, you know what, once I figured out what I love, which is speaking and speaking into people's lives, there was really nothing for me to go back to. So if there's nothing for me to go, I don't want to look back because there's nothing back there. I just want to look forward. So if I'm looking forward, then I'm not putting an expiration date on when I have to be at a certain place in my journey. I'm just being in the moment every day that I have life and breath in my body to do the thing that I believe is my gift and that I've been called to do. So yeah, this year's 13 years in the making, and there have been highs and lows. There have been ups and downs.
13 years. 13 years.
Yeah.
It said it always takes 10 years to be an overnight success. So
I agree. I agree with that. Like I don't feel like I really started gaining real traction until like the 10-year mark. Maybe 9, I started kind of seeing it, but 10 was when it really, like, I felt like that was the tipping point but also what changed were some of my own behaviors and patterns. So I invested different than I did ever before in my journey at year 10 than I did at year 1 and 2. And the people that I intentionally put myself in the room with, which of course required an investment, that was different. I wanted to play all out. But also the thing that was different was my mindset about the fact that nobody was going to come and give it to me. Yes. Nobody. It didn't matter how good I was. Didn't matter how many people told me how great I was from stage. Nobody. And it didn't matter how much I invested in coaches. Nobody was going to do it for me. Because as much as I've invested hundreds of thousands of dollars to be coached and mentored by the best of the best in the industry, because I believe if you want to be the best, you've got to be mentored and coached by the best. Yeah. But even then, like when I coached with Lisa Nichols, she didn't come back from the Bahamas and come home with me and talk about, okay, now let me do this for you.
No one's going to say, here's my Rolodex, as I'm dating myself. Here's my Rolodex. Call anybody you want. Tell them I sent you.
Right. It does not go down that way.
Dr. Will says 2 legends. Thank you so much, Dr. Will. We love He's a legend himself as well. He's another one that's been at it for a while.
Yep.
Been at it for a while. I have people that come to Speakers Magazine and says, okay, I get featured in your magazine. When will the speaking gig start rolling in? Literally. I'm like, oh my God. I said, it is part of a soup. This is part of the mixture that you're putting in. It's all of the things. I can't tell you exactly when, but I know all those ingredients need to be in that pot.
Yeah. And that's the thing, because if you think about it, just focusing on what you just analogy used about ingredients, if you're someone who cooks, you understand that most meals taste better the next day after the seasoning has just kind of settled in and it's done the thing it's supposed to do. And so you got to have patience. And many speakers do not have patience with their own dream. They want to throw the ingredients in and like, bam, let me click my, snap my fingers, and it produces and manifests everything I've ever dreamed about. But no, you got to put the ingredients in and let the ingredients really marinate. If you've ever watched like the Food Network, they have some places, restaurants that let food marinate for, a week, or marinate for 2 weeks or 3 weeks in a special sauce just for it to get the seasoning that it needs to come out the way that they want it to taste. So I'm not saying it's going to happen in a couple of weeks. I'm just using that as an analogy that you've got to have patience with what you want to manifest as a speaker, and not expect that just because you put some of the ingredients in today, that tomorrow the recipe is going to be fully ready for consumption. It just doesn't work that way.
So what I could tell a little bit from watching you over the years, because I remember when we were on a telesummit together, we were on Blog Talk Radio together. We were on all the things, right? It's like Blog Talk Radio. And we were doing the things, and I always knew I loved your voice quality. First of all, you do have that voice, like a news anchor voice. So that's different and it's commanding. But it's not just the voice quality, because some people can have a great voice and they just read scripts, but you actually have something to say. But what I can tell that I know about you in terms of the secrets of success, and you can say yours as well. One is that you are always genuine. You're always authentic. Like I said, you may be on the stage and you'll take your shoes off if the shoes are cute, but they hurt. Okay, I'm gonna take them off.
Look, I can't give y'all the rest of the speech with my feet.
and it's real, and that's you. But and you also make people feel good when you meet them. I would say that no matter who the person is, that you treat them with respect. You treat them like they don't treat them well just because you think you can get something from them.
Yeah.
Cheryl didn't know who I was or who I knew, but she was still nice to me. There's something about just being nice to people when you know maybe they can't do anything for you, but you're just being nice.
Yeah.
That's like when, you hear the stories about, oh, well, they were nice to the janitor, or they were nice to the doorman, or they're just nice people. Okay, that's number one. So she's always that person. And she can't get with you though. You ain't gonna run over her now. That's other thing. She is to be more, right? So she
You better tell them, Lafayette Project.
right. So but that's the thing. But also too, she shows up in places where she knows that she has a opportunity to speak life into people. That's what she
Mhm.
does. So she'll go to the places, and before she was actually on stage speaking, she was selling the t-shirts, motivating the people, and that sort of thing. And she still goes to conferences to meet people face to face. But the real thing is that she invests, and she does show up in conferences and is willing to learn and do the research that's required. She'll do the PR, invest in those type of things. Like I said, she's been on the cover 4 times. It'll be 5 this year, 6 actually, 6 because we're doing November, and then had a twin sister on there as well. So that kind of counts as maybe like 6.5, 6.5 because we
Right.
we had Sheree Good on
The
there as
Twin
well.
Towers, yes.
So I just want to let people know that when relationships are really, really the main key for being on stages, superstar stages. Yes,
Yeah.
media and exposure, people do need to know about you, but really, people do things for people that they know, like, and trust. Cheryl makes the time to go to the events. She'll be at Power Networking. She's having her own event, which she'll be talking about in July. But it's one of the things where you've got to make your own relationships and develop them yourselves. Uncle George taught us that from Power Networking, right? Like, relationships are everything.
Yeah.
So kind of tell us maybe of those pivotal points of people that you met in terms of relationships that maybe took you to the next level, or how you met someone like a Gloria Mayfield Banks or ET, or the first time you met Les Brown, or the first time you met George Frazier, what those things were like and what happened in that situation.
Yeah, that's so good that you bring that up, because number one, I do work very hard to be the same person on stage and off stage. So if I'm friendly and I'm having a good time and I'm engaging with the audience from the stage, I don't then want you to catch me off stage and I'm a completely different person. Sometimes people catch me in my local grocery store, and I can feel the heat on the side of my face, like, this person, I think they know me. And you can see them finally get the courage to say, "Are you Dr. Cheryl?" And I'm like, "Yes, I am. Come give me a hug." Right? Like, I am just an authentic person, just in general. I never
Mhm.
feel like I'm better than anybody else. It doesn't matter how much money in the bank account, doesn't matter who I'm speaking, where I'm speaking, doesn't matter. Because guess
Mhm.
what? At the end of the day, we all grow old, get sick, and die.
Bottom line, we're
Like,
just in transition right here. We're
it's
not. This is not the permanent place, right?
Yeah, so it's really about maximizing life, and a part of that is maximizing how you make people feel whenever they're in your space.
Yeah.
So I try my best to make people feel good, to feel like this magnetic energy from me, to feel some type of positive vibe when they're in my space. Now, I can't control how everybody feels about me, about my energy, but I try to be true to who I am and always make people feel like they are in a safe space of love and of warmth and of positive energy. And in terms of really connecting with people that I wanted to connect with, in terms of people who are at a higher level than me, I have a tenacity about my spirit that whatever I want, I'm going to get it.
Mhm.
It's like,
Mhm.
once I set my mind to something, there is nothing you can do to
Mhm.
tell me I can't have it. There's nothing. Like, it
Mhm.
doesn't matter. And so then I start to look at, how do I strategically place myself in the places where these individuals are so that I can get close to them. And so sometimes it's getting on a plane and going to events where they are. I remember the first time I met Gloria Mayfield Banks, the funny part was someone, I didn't even know who she was. Someone compared me to her in the way that I deliver. And I was like, oh, I gotta go see who this Gloria Mayfield Banks person is. So then I find out that she's the beast that she is and bad on the phone all day long. And then one of my clients knew that I wanted to ultimately hear her speak. So my client had a ticket to an event and invited me to come to the event. Now, the event was about a 2-hour ride. It was in the evening. I knew I wasn't going to be, I wasn't going to have front row seats, but I went anyway. I'm like, I just want to be in the room. Sometimes you just got to be in the room. Let me just see what her energy is like. And sure enough, I loved her. She was funny. She was animated. She was energized. She was passionate, like all the things that I feel like I am as well. And so to watch her in her brilliance was a beautiful thing. Now, here's the funny part. Nothing manifested that day. I didn't even get to meet her that day because the line was so long to get her to sign your book. I was like, oh, I'm not standing in that line. She was amazing, but I'm not standing in line for 2 hours to get her sign my book. But it was almost like, for me, it was a seed that was planted. In my mind, I knew one day we're going to connect. I'm not sure how this is going to happen. And then the next thing, when I saw her speaking at another event, I purchased a ticket. Now I got a VIP ticket this time.
There you go. Oh my God. Stop right there. So do you all understand? When I tell you the secrets as which she's dropping, it's like she didn't go to the event and say, well, I got to meet Cheryl and have an attitude about it. Like, I done flew all the way here, this and that. You going to meet me, put me to the front of the line. Do you know I'm Cheryl Wood? None of that. Okay. Then the second time she purchased a VIP ticket, which means that you're investing more and you get more.
Yeah.
How about that? You invest more, you get more.
I'm getting a little bit closer to her, just a little bit more access. And then the magic was I went to a conference and she was speaking at the conference. It's a big conference. I mean, like 700 women there.
Wow.
But it just happened that so we were in the room, she finished the speech and people were lined up to meet her. And I was like, oh, here we go again with the line, right? Like, how am I going to get close to her? But I waited around. Sometimes this is the importance of coming early and staying late.
Yeah.
So I stayed in the room late. And next thing I looked, I was like, wait a minute, there's no line. So I took my chance. I went over there. I stood in line. I was like maybe 2 or 3 people in front of me. I waited and I said, hey, I was like, you don't know me, but I met you. I heard you for the first time back on in Baltimore, Maryland. And I referenced the event where I came to hear her speak the first time. So now I had a reference point. And I told her, hey, I got the book and the book, and this is what I love. So it was like I knew something about her.
Yes.
So I was talking about her, not talking about me.
There you go. Oh my God.
And
that
I said,
right there.
I would love to have, now here's was the ask. I said, I would love to hire you to come and speak at one of my conferences.
So you didn't ask her like, hey, Gloria, can you mentor me?
No, none of that foolishness. No. Ain't nobody that's a complete stranger. They not mentoring you. Most people who are in mentorship relationships is because you have a relationship with the person and the person sees fit to wrap their arms around you. And
yes.
But I said, I would am interested in hiring you for a conference that I have coming up. And I would love to see what your availability is. Now I'm thinking she's going to give me a business card or tell me to call her assistant. She says, pull out your phone. And she gives me her personal cell phone number.
I love it because she felt your energy. She's from Detroit, by the way. She's real people too, so I know.
She really is.
Yes. So that's how you roll because you're authentically. You were looking to give, not to take.
Yes.
You are looking from the standpoint that you've already invested in a VIP.
Yep.
And so she sees you're serious. It's not somebody just trying to hop on the stage and hop on the bandwagon of Gloria Mayfield Banks. It's a real situation because something resonated. Now, if you would have heard her the first time, it's like, it doesn't really resonate. But when you heard her, it's like, you know what? I can see the similarities. Yeah. And I can too.
Personally. And I use the right language. I want to hire you. That means it's coming with a check.
Yes.
I'm not asking you to come and speak for free. I wouldn't even have an expectation of someone at that level to come and do anything for free. So you got to sometimes put your money where your mouth is, and you keep saying that you want to connect with people. You have sometimes got to be willing to invest to be in the rooms so that you can get closer to every person that I'm connected to at a high level. I have invested at a high level to be in their space so that I could get close enough to say, you don't know me yet, but you're going to know Dr. Cheryl Wood. Exactly. Just those words. And then here's the thing. When they give me their information, through being in the room and being in the right spaces, I don't stalk them. I don't. So when Gloria gave me her cell phone number, I wasn't texting Gloria every day, telling her, "Hey, Gloria, how you doing? What's going on? How's your day?" No, I
That's a
really
good way to get blocked.
that I take great care with when I receive people's personal contact information. Same with same with
Lisa.
Mickey Taylor of Essence Magazine. Like I
Mm-hmm.
have her on speed dial. We've been connected
Mm-hmm.
for years now.
Mm-hmm.
I rarely text her. Rarely.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm asking her to participate in something, it is coming with some type of monetary compensation. It doesn't matter that we're technically friends. I still
Right.
don't take it for granted that I have a connection with her that I worked years to build and that I have access to her. I do not take it for granted when I have access. I'm very protective of the access that I have to people.
I love that.
Yeah.
So, talking about access, you are in a way opening up your best of the best friends, besties, at an event that you want to invite other speakers to really partake in and learn and to glean from them. So, tell us about that. Well, you have the Speaker Con, which is always in November, but you have
Yeah.
something that's a little bit more intimate coming before that. Well, not intimate, but a little bit
Yes,
more
yes, yes.
different focus.
I'm
Hmm.
so excited. So the date, mark your calendars, is July 12th. It's a Wednesday. It's in Washington, D.C. It's a one-day summit. So technically, if you're not local, you can fly in and fly back home the same day. You don't even have to book a room. Just come get the juice, get your cup filled, and go on back home and then let it marinate. But
Hmm.
July 12th is called Stage Domination. The world is your stage. Unleash
Hmm.
your brilliance. So it's not just for people who want to speak. That's a part of it. But we are saying to every individual on the planet, if you have life and breath in your body, there is something that you are destined to do. There is some calling on your life. And we want you to treat the world as though it is your stage, which means every day show up and perform at your highest capacity so that you can impact other people's lives. So, whatever that is, we just want to help you to develop greater clarity about what that is, greater confidence so that you can show up and actually do the thing that you've been called to do without feeling like you're an imposter. So many people suffer from imposter syndrome. How do I feel the fear about pursuing the thing I'm called to do and still press through and do it anyway? We're going to
Hmm.
talk about how to really live in your potential, not just know that you have potential, but live in your potential. Lisa is going to talk all about creating an abundance mindset that leads to an abundance life. We're going to talk about, of course, yes, how do I amplify my voice and reach more people with what I am an expert in? So it is going to be a day that is refreshing, re-energizing. There's going to be a culmination of inspiration, information, education, connection, empowerment. Like there is no way you can leave this event, Stage Domination on July 12th, the same way that you came. Absolutely no way. And it is historical because Lisa Nichols, Gloria Mayfield Banks, and Trent Shelton have never been on the same stage on the same day in the same building. So we are creating history and you do not want to miss it.
Oh my God. I did not realize that. Oh my God. That is what, and so the main thing I really wanted people to know is about the connection, right? It's really about the connections and really being, I always say those who show up go up because you just don't know. You
Yep.
could be just one connection away from where you really want to be.
Yeah.
And that's really, really key. I'm putting the banner down here because it's on my blog, Cheryl. The stage domination here for people to take a look at it. And I want people to, you know, basically, but the URL is kind of long. So what is it? Where can they
No, just
actually
go to
go?
just stagedomination.com. That's it.
Okay, stagedomination.com. For
Yep.
those who are don't know how to spell domination, put it in here .com. There. How about that? There we go.
Yay.
Right. Yeah. StageDomination.com. And on July 12th, that's a Wednesday, and it's one day only.
Yes.
Fly in, fly out, or
Yep.
drive in, drive out.
And
Uh,
we have a variety of options for tickets that people can purchase. Like we even have the lowest ticket, the standard, is only $2.99. Like that's unheard of to
for
be in
those
the building
people.
to get a full day conference with Lisa Nichols, Trent Shelton, Gloria Mayfield Banks, and Dr. Cheryl. Like that's unheard of. And the connections with the hundreds of people who will be in that building who are flying from all across the world to be there. Like
Mhm.
299 is like you have to be willing to make some level of investment, you cannot expect a withdrawal if you have not first made a deposit. So at a minimum, you can get a standard ticket at $299. It's just unheard of.
And
But
then the VIP.
Yes, we have a general ticket, a VIP ticket, and an elite ticket. Now, let me just really quickly say, for the VIP and elite tickets, the beautiful thing about both of those, they're of course a higher investment, but you get 2 conferences for one. So anyone who purchases a general or VIP ticket, you also get a ticket to SpeakerCon.
Ah, there you go. That's that annual event. This is the premier conference, convention, and awards gala.
Yes, November 1st through 4th this year. We already have it locked in. It's already scheduled. We already have signed the contract with the hotel. We'll be at the same hotel again this year. So you get both the July 12th and the 4-day SpeakerCon event, November 1st through 4th. And those who sign up for Elite, it's an investment, but you get to sit and have lunch with the speakers, Q&A, live and up close and personal Q&A, and get a photo.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's some of the things that you probably wish you would have had when you started 13 years ago, right? Because it's like, oh, this is like the quick way. This is the fast, because you can sit with someone, Q&A, the legends in there, and they can tell you, and they know that you've made the investment and they're willing to pour into you.
And that's the thing that separates me. I'm telling you, people ask me all the time, like even people who started when I started, they're like, how did you just take off? I'm like, well, I didn't just take off. I was on the runway for a while. However, the way I finally took off was the things that other people said was too much money. It was too high. I'm not paying that, were the very things I paid for. And that got me in the rooms that they only thought about getting into, which got me the relationships and the connections that allow me to now invite these heavy hitters to come into this space and play with us.
I love that. I love that. You had, I think it was last year, was it 2020? You had Dr. Stacia as one of the speakers. So she's she's the cover for this month for May.
Yes. Yep. She's
And
one of our speakers for our virtual. We did SpeakerCon virtual in 2021. One of our keynoters. Yep.
Yes. Yes. And one of the things is that she always talks about, she's my former pastor, because when she lived in Michigan, that's where I went to church, and now she's in Florida. But I guess we can go to church anywhere now because everything is online. The COVID-19 taught us that, right? You go to church from Zoom now.
Right.
But the thing of it is that she told us a long time ago that you have to invest. And that success leaves clues. That some things are taught and some things are caught. They can only be caught by showing up in the room. And so I always tell people, I said, if you really want to have what someone else has, you have to do what they did. And so really showing up on July 12th at Stage Domination, so many people, the hundreds of people over the 7 years have been in Speakers Magazine, and they did invest in being in the magazine, and they kind of share it on social media. But it's more than that. You are now part of that family, and you've got to take that next step. You can't stay on the tricycle. You've got to move to the bike, motorcycle, car, rocket ship. But each level you have to go up. But you could start here, but you've got to do other things. So if you can, go to stagedomination.com right now, get your ticket, get connected with Cheryl. Get all of her books. What was the one book you have? It was a tips book. It's so good.
All of them. I call myself the queen of tip books because
I love that one.
Real book yet, but I've written about 5 or 6 tip books.
No, I love that tips book. That the first one that you did, I think I got it at George's event.
Flatline and woke up in 45 days. Then I have another one that's success tips for speakers, 50 tips to jumpstart your speaking career.
That one right there. If you all don't have that, that's the one that you need to get. People always ask you, like, what did you do? It's in that book. If there's no secret if it's in the book. Okay, so we got to get that book, that one in particular, and they're all available at your website or on Amazon and that sort of thing, or wherever you speak. But you want to make sure that you're getting that. So I want to be respectful of your time. We're at 30:23. Is there anything else that you want to leave with someone? We've got some people over here. We got LinkedIn user. I don't know your name, so I can just say LinkedIn user. Anything that you want to leave before we kind of close down today?
Yeah, just, you deserve to live a life that you are absolutely in love with. And, The reality of that is no one's going to give it to you. No one's going to create it for you. You've got to be so hungry, as my good friend and coach Les Brown says, that you are willing to do the things that other people won't. They'll sit on the sidelines, they'll wish, they'll watch, they'll wonder, but they'll never get in the game. They'll just stay a spectator. So if you really want to level up, you want to go to a new level and you're tired of talking about it, and you really want to manifest all the greatness that life has for you, then disrupt your own norm and ask yourself the question, the way I've been doing it, has it been working? Has it been producing what I want? And if not, maybe it's time to try something different. And that different is likely going to be uncomfortable and unfamiliar, but it will be so worth it. So I would love to see you on July 12th at Stage Domination in Washington, D.C.
All right. All right. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. That is so good. You just really wrap it all up in a bow for us. So I just thank you so much. And then the cover that is coming up that we're working on is the first time we've ever done anything like that. So
I love being a first, right? Like I love
my God. You're just like breaking the barriers. You're breaking all the rules here, but that's
finally say I'm a Black woman who did something first. So I love that. And it's connected to Speakers Magazine. Someone I adore you and adore the magazine. So I love that.
Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you so much. But yeah, it's going to be good. I can't wait to see you in July. And then I'm seeing you probably at PNC and then, probably other events where we're running the same circle. So like I said, guys, please show up, get to know Cheryl. She can help you, guide you. Some things are caught, some things are taught. So you want to make sure that you show up in the room. So Cheryl, thank you so much for joining us today. Speakers Magazine show. Thank you. So make sure that you go to stagednomination.com. I'm Pam Perry and I am out. Go to speakersmagazine.com. Get this month's issue. Dr. Stacia Pierce is on the cover. All righty. Take care. We'll see you soon. God bless. Thanks for joining. All righty. Bye-bye.